Hello, everyone. What a wonderful day it is today in Kiev. I hope it is as good in your place. My name is Dmytro Foremnyi. I am the head of the Justice Accelerator at HiiL. I'm happy to welcome you at the Ukrainian finals of Innovating Justice Challenge 2020. This event will showcase the best innovators that applied to the challenge this year. But before we're going to go to that part, and before I introduce our distinguished keynote speakers, I would like to bring you back a little bit and tell you the story, how it all started here in Ukraine. So HiiL, the Hague Institute for Innovations in Law, started 15 years ago in The Hague. Now it is an international think tank with hubs in 5 countries, but also an accelerator that helps and supports startups who solve legal and justice problems. HiiL Justice Accelerators program and the journey started in Ukraine in 2016. That year, HiiL conducted a comprehensive survey about legal needs of people in Ukraine. The same year, we started an acceleration program. It is a unique program not only in Ukraine, but in the whole region. And since then, we received more than 200 applications. And we selected 40 for trainings. They received trainings about entrepreneurship and different aspects of it. And we supported 11 startups with grants. They received more than 170,000 euros in grants. And even 6 of them went to The Hague. They pitched at the famous Peace Palace, and they were participant of unique acceleration program. So this is the path of startups, and some of them, by the way, are quite famous and they scaled internationally. And some of them are having not so huge success, but they're still solving legal problems of users and people in Ukraine. So let's move forward. And today we're going to hear 9 great pitches. 2 of them will receive invitation into International Acceleration Program of HiiL, which will be 5 months long. These 2 startups will receive grant funding of 10,000 euros, and they will have chance to receive 20,000 euros more at the end of the program, depending on how they're solving problems of people and how they grow. An important note should be said that we will not announce winners today at this live event, but we will do it tomorrow. A special committee will come together. It will consist of colleagues from The Hague and Kiev, and we will decide who are going to be winners of Innovating Justice Challenge. Apart from great pitches, we're also going to have 2 interesting discussions, 2 panel discussions. One going to be about justice innovations in the times of COVID and pandemic. And the other one going to be about legal problems of medium, small, and micro enterprises in Ukraine. And the last, from my part, I would like to thank our partners. First of all, International Renaissance Foundation, who is generously supporting this challenge this year, Ministry of Digital Transformation, and International Community of Legal Hackers. That's it from my side, and without further ado, I would like to introduce and give the floor to welcome words to Ronald Lenz, who is the head of the HiiL. He's a director of HiiL Justice Accelerator in the Hague. In past, he was an innovator and entrepreneur himself. And what else interesting about Ronald is he was head of partnerships at Hyperloop Europe. So he's one of the most innovative people that I know. I hope said everything correct, right, Ronald? Cool. Okay. Thanks, and the floor is yours, Ronald.
Thanks so much for the kind words and the introduction, Dmytro. And hello, everybody that's on the live stream. from Ukraine and wherever in the world. I'll take a couple of minutes to introduce what we do at the Hague Institute for Innovation of Law, or HiiL for short. Because, I mean, justice has, these times, justice is a major issue, as we know. We live in a time where injustice is on the rise in different kinds of topics that we see everywhere on the news, from institutional racism to diversity issues, gender-based violence, employment justice issues, people getting laid off, and then COVID hit. We're in times of COVID-19 where the capacity to deal with justice problems is diminishing, and therefore the call for innovation is even bigger. So we need new ways to actually prevent and resolve justice problems. So our mission is by 2030. So we hope to have 150 million people to be able to prevent or resolve their most pressing justice problems. So quite a big goal. What we do, we basically combine 3 different things really well. So we do data research, so we really understand what the justice problems are in the countries that we work in, which is, apart from Ukraine, also different parts of Africa and the Middle East. And we do transformation. We get government stakeholders together to get consensus around specific justice goals. And then we have our Accelerator program for startups to think of what are the perfect alternative solutions to these justice problems. And we mostly focus on family issues, employment issues, crime, land, and issues with neighbors. And we've done this since 2011, working from different hubs in the world, because it's really important to us that we connect the local ecosystem, the local startup infrastructure, all the local change makers that make all the difference in bringing not only developing innovations, but also bringing them to scale. So we're very happy to have these different hubs that we work with. Since 2011, we have supported 110 startups globally. That's an amazing achievement, and we're so proud to have this community of justice innovators with us. And obviously, some of them are from Ukraine as well. And each year, as we organize this competition, we have 400 to 500 startups apply. And this year, even in times of COVID, when we do things online, I must say I am incredibly impressed by all the applicants, and also the ones that we'll be hearing from today. So we can see all of the innovations are there, the game changers are there, whether it's online dispute resolutions or new ways to provide legal services, maybe with chatbots, or to look into new fraud-free finance systems or claiming platforms. It's all there. We need to bring it to a bigger scale. So how do we do this? So every year we organize the Innovating Justice Forum, and which is basically the largest European platform for justice innovation. We bring everybody together so we can showcase these innovations and bring them to the center stage that they deserve. But there's one extra thing I would like to mention, which is my last slide. Because all these new innovations, they're on a growth path, right? The accelerator helps them from one stage to the other, but we want to go further. So that's why early 2021, we aim to launch also an impact investment fund, the Innovating Justice Fund, which can help with growth capital and even scaling programs to help, let's say, those that leave the accelerator onwards with their next journey, because we're all in this together to make impact and resolve justice problems and prevent them. So how am I on time, Dmitry? Or am I still good?
Yeah, that was a great presentation. and a great introduction both to Justice Accelerator work, but also to the Innovating Justice Fund. Indeed, I think this is the first time people from Ukraine hear about this fund. It's a sneak preview. Thanks a lot for them for that. I think it's going to be an interesting year next year for HiiL, but also for innovators who can apply to the fund. Yeah.
So with that, I would love to give the word over to Romanov, the director of the Rule of Law program of the IRF. So with that, Roman, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Roman, please, hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Hello, Dmitry.
Hello. Great to have you here. Yeah, as Ronald mentioned, we have Romanov, the director of Rule of Law program at International Renaissance Foundation, our partner here. I think Roman and IRF is quite famous in Ukraine for supporting and initiating different programs that support rule of law and that help improve access to justice to all, according to Sustainable Development Goals of UN. Some of my favorite programs is the community paralegals and electronic custody records that was done by IRF. But that's just a tiny part of that. And, yeah. With that introduction, Roman, please, I give the floor to you.
Okay. I'm very happy to be with you today, and probably you are the best community to adapt to the situation. Since, like, without innovations, we would, lose a lot with these restrictions which pandemic brought to all of us, and what really influenced our life a lot. And I think these, urgent and emergency situations are pushing our societies even more towards like being open-minded, innovative, and looking and supporting innovations. I'm happy that we at IRF found much earlier how important innovations are. And thanks to Dmitry for just highlighting some of the innovations in justice which the IRF been promoting directly in last years. A part of that, we are working now on pretrial justice standards with like accessibility through mobile application given to all the legal practitioners, judges, prosecutors, investigators, defense attorneys, etc. I won't tell a lot about our work because today is actually the day to hear from the other innovators, and we are really very happy to be a part of this excellent team of organizers and sponsors of this event. I would like to highlight that a part of these challenging times, it's very opportunistic time for Ukrainian innovators. And I'm really happy that HiiL paid special attention to like the opportunity of working in Ukraine and with Ukrainian people, Ukrainian society, and Ukrainian innovators. All of you probably aware of like our extended relationships with the EU and the association agreement, which offered quite a lot for the Ukrainian trade, for the Ukrainian society. We recently signed quite a large agreement with the EU delegation in Ukraine, and our partnership with the EU will offer quite extended support for justice innovations and digital rights protection. That's extremely important because one of the priority the Ukrainian government and its to large extent is supported by the EU is that Ukraine should be a part of single digital market with the European community. It means like we can extend our relationships, we can reach the European customers with the products which grown and promoted, developed here in Ukraine. But at the same time, it means that we should follow the EU regulations on digital rights and respect to privacy. So I really would like to highlight how important is that. So we all are now on the crossroad. There is the digital technologies will come more and more in our life, and there is a crossroad. Forever will ignore privacy and digital rights of the customers and give more control and powers to corporations, states, sometimes authoritarian states, or will manage actually to fit with the innovations, with the technologies, with the demand of the society to respect human rights. So you can pay attention to the call for proposals, which recently my colleagues from European program announced at the IRF to support actually extension of the digital market of EU towards Ukraine. Next week, my program, Human Rights and Justice, will announce the new call for proposal on digital rights and justice innovations. So I think that it should be quite good news for all those people who joined this challenge and who is potential audience of our today's discussion. I believe that there is a huge space for innovations which could dramatically change, simplify our life, extend access to justice. And justice, that's especially important value here in Ukraine, and we sometimes lose the valuable part of that, because in English, justice, it's not only judiciary, right? It's much wider. It's справедливость. And we should be able actually to convert this lack of proper wording into the instruments to make it possible, accessible, and to feed the demand of the society. So I believe that actually innovation, the innovators, the community of innovators, this is the part of society which can lead us towards this direction. So I'm very happy that we have excellent teams who joined this year's Innovating Justice Challenge. I wish you all the best, and we will be, ready to offer more support for ideas which were to be supported. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Roman. Wow, what a wonderful news. So today we have a day of sneak previews. So first, Ronald announced about the Innovating Justice Fund. Now you announce about the new program that will launch about innovations in justice. That is wonderful news. And of course, I hope you will talk a little bit more about the project on digital integration to EU during the panel that we will have about in 40 minutes or so. So thanks a lot, Roman. And with that, I would like to invite 3 innovators. So now we switch to the main part of our event, and these are pitches of innovators. So now we'll have pitches of 3 innovators. Each of them will be showcasing their pre-recorded pitch for 3 minutes. And then we're also going to have a Q&A session for each of them for 3 minutes in addition. And I also invite Ronald to ask questions, to be part of this Q&A. So now everybody's on the screen. Just wanted to say hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Great to see you in Justler t-shirts. This is very nice. Thanks. Okay, so now let's start with Zayava.online, the first pitch for today. Okay, now we will share the pitch together with audio. You will see the recorded pitch and then Q&A. Okay.
My name is Elizaveta. I help Alina Gladkaya to present her project Zayava.online. From the experience, we know that most of the petitions are typical, ergo an algorithm will handle them cheaper and faster than the human lawyer. Clients come to the lawyer with their problems, and usually people, first, don't know they can go to court and resolve their issue. Second, they don't know how to draw papers and file a petition. Third, the lawyer services are expensive and the communication with the lawyer takes much time. Zayava.online creates typical petition in 5 minutes so everyone can defend themselves in court. To get your petition done, you need to submit a questionnaire and pay a service fee. We created a unique software that's our main advantage. Meet Zayava.online team. Alina Gladkaya is head of project and a lawyer. Artur Sipenko is a developer, and Vitaly Nazarenko is search engine optimization specialist. The size of the market in Ukraine is about 2.5 million people per year, about 3.6 million standard code applications per year, from 14 to 28 million of US dollars per year. Zayava.online can be scalable to the CIS countries markets and worldwide if we will find lawyers competitive in relevant jurisdictions. In February 2020, we did inner website optimization, and the site started to get indexed by Google. In July 2020, we fixed small bugs in the website. In 7 months from scratch, we get about 20 sales per month without search engine optimization or marketing. Now 207 people are registered on the website. This data comes from our Google Search Console. Now, all the traffic on the website is 100% organic. In future, we plan to add content marketing, external SMM, email marketing, and pay-per-click advertising in a little bit later, We think that competitors of Zayava.online are Lawyer's House and Paz of the Sudo. Zayava.online main advantages are, first, artificial intelligence elements. The software allows user to generate necessary template, choosing it from a lot of template options available according to answers of questionnaires given by the user. A lawyer can create a limited quantity of documents without financial spending and making changes in code. Service filled by the user, document templates, rules of choosing the template needed among other templates, the rules of data substitution to the template needed, and the rules for the determination of jurisdiction are created by the lawyer administrator from the admin panel without the developer's help. We plan to add more petitions on the website and market Zayava.online into the most famous product of the industry. With grant funding, we will be able to work on Zayava.online full-time and attract the best contractors for marketing and strategy development. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day.
Okay, wonderful. Now we're inviting Alina to our small Q&A session. I will be helping Alina a little bit with the translation. So Ronald, please, your remarks and questions.
Wow, that was a fast presentation. I needed to pay attention. Good. A lot of information in a short amount of time. So maybe you can explain a little bit, because you presented your traction. What do you think your next growth steps are, and what are the main challenges that you think you will encounter?
Окей, Аліна, як ви вважаєте, які у вас наступні кроки для зростання і які бар'єри до цього зростання?
Следующими шагами у нас будет наполнение контентом, добавление новых дополнительных документов, то есть шаблонирование существующих исков и контентное и продвижение, выход на рынок, увеличение продаж. Барьером для меня лично, как основателя, является отсутствие, скажем так, четкого понимания стратегии вывода вот таких продуктов на рынок, таких вот.
Okay, thanks. So the next steps for growth are developing much more content, and second point will be to increase sales. And at the same time, the barrier would be a lack of experience and strategic vision how to bring such products, online products, into the market.
Okay, so that's clearly one thing you could learn in an accelerator program, right? I want to dive a bit into the impact side of things, because it's obvious, it's a clear product, it's a clear business model. So from a financial revenue point of view, it's also clear. But we are also looking into, okay, so how do you increase access to justice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you share your thoughts on how you monitor or measure the impact on justice in your organization?
Окей. Аліна, з бізнес-частиною зрозуміло, а можете поділитися вашими думками щодо того, як ви створюєте позитивний вплив на суспільство, як ви даєте доступ до правосуддя, як ви це вимірюєте? Дуже коротко, у нас 30 секунд.
Сколько заявлений создано на моем сайте, вот столько людей получили позитивное влияние и получили облегчение в доступе к правосудию. Это дешево, это дешевле, чем адвокат.
Okay. Yeah. So the number of people who created documents and claims on the platform is the number of people who increased their possibility to access the justice. So that's the answer.
Okay.
Okay. I think we're out of time for this team. Sorry, Ronald. Okay, we now have to move to another team. Thanks a lot, Alina, and thanks a lot for your answers and pitch. Okay, now we now move to the second team, which is Lawyered. Lawyered allows copyright holders to automatically protect their rights, IP rights, intellectual property rights on internet. And now, where it goes.
Hi, my name is Igor. I'm an intellectual property lawyer. I defend IP rights in an international game dev company for more than 5 years. And this is Lawyered, the system which will forever change the process of intellectual property protection on the internet. At the time when intellectual property is worth much more than any physical asset and the internet has become the #1 platform for doing businesses, it is extremely important to get proper protection of your IP rights on the internet. The annual damage from piracy for different categories of businesses and individuals varies from 20 to 35% loss of net profit. In the process of IP protection, ordinary citizens face such problems. It is hard to find an appropriate specialist. Even if you find an appropriate specialist, it will cost you a lot of work you have to do manually. Lawyered makes the process of removing infringing resources fully automated without the participation of third parties. The right holder only needs to provide information about the product and authorized person. The system automatically generates a complaint, finds an authorized agent, generates documents confirming the violation, and sends a completed complaint to the authorized bodies in no more than 5 seconds. Lawyered uniqueness lies in the possibility of the right holder to protect his product in most jurisdictions of the world at a much lower price than on the market without any legal support. Competitive advantages: fully automated complaint filing, 28 times cheaper, work with the UNC's jurisdiction, 10 times faster than manual removal. Here you can see our competitors' prices. They start from $200 per blocked resource and reach $5,000. Lawyered subscription, 28 times cheaper because everything is done automatically. We provide software licensing services and offer 4 different approaches to IP protection. The market for future customers is growing exponentially because in currently the most profitable areas and gaming industry and software licensing. The volume of Ukrainian market segment is reached 900 million. In turn, the global market in our customer segments reach 500 billion and is growing every day. Now we have real clients from game dev and the legal industry who pay for our subscription, which is an extremely rare case for startups. Our ideal goal is to help creative individuals protect IP rights quickly, reliably, cheaply. With Lawyered help, we deleted more than 5,000 resources. We have a fully completed and tested MVP. Lawyered has a long-term contract with the leader of game dev industry in Ukraine. We were granted by Ukrainian Polish startup Bridge. With Lawyered, we have already gone through basic startup phases and fully preparing for fast growing. We hope to find the support here and climb to the top of the legal tech market. Our next step is high quality scaling to Western markets. We plan to protect IP rights for 10,000 customers in first year. Our ultimate aim to become the world's fully first automated platform for the protection of IP rights on the internet and to establish a clear associative connection for every internet user between the lawyer brand and protection of IP rights on the internet. Thank you.
Okay, that was an impressive pitch. Okay, Igor, maybe you can now join us. Hello,
Yep.
Igor.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hello, Igor. Nice to meet you. Yeah, let's start with the first question about what have you learned from your first clients?
Oh, we learn really a lot because first of all, it's the spectrum of features that we have to add to our platform, because we started only with site takedowns, and now we have features for take down YouTube videos and eBay videos, and also we have to make our platform as user-friendly as it's possible. So I think it's two the most valuable things that we learned.
I know you presented that you basically do things faster and cheaper, because it's all automated. Most likely your competitors will have a similar type of story. What other sort of competitive advantage do you have over the others?
So first of all, we're 28 times cheaper than competitors. I think it's really huge. And also we really automatically, and I can explain how it works. We connect to parsing system. First parsing system finding the authorized agent automatically, and the next parsing system find out the abuse email of this authorized agent. So our clients only need to put the link on the infringing content, and this is it.
Maybe a final question. What do you think of Creative Commons? Because you could argue, maybe this is a little on the conceptual side though, that protecting IP is stifling innovation, right? There's a reason why Elon Musk opened up a certain IP, right? So one model is Creative Commons, where you can share things. So are these things, are you looking into that at Lawyer, or just conquering the world of straightforward IP protection?
We started our story because we want to make internet safer and clearer, because we want to make every internet user just to get proper protection of IP rights, and that work that he do. Such people do really enormous work, creating new pictures, music, and other stuff. So we want to save and help these people. Yes, Creative Commons, it's great, and we really, I think, have to share our information and our innovations with others. But on the other hand, we really have to save some stuff. So.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you hope to learn at the Accelerator if you're chosen?
What I hope to learn?
Yeah.
I hope to learn how I can help the biggest number of people that we help today.
Nice one.
Yeah. Good
Thanks,
one.
Igor.
Time is up. Thanks, Igor. Okay, we now move to the third startup and the last startup of this section. It is Ionan. Ionan provides personal legal advice and assistance on visa and immigration matters. Sergey, please. Sergey will share his pitch. Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Sergey, an immigration lawyer who tries to fight the global immigration crisis. The crisis because there are more than 272 million immigrants in the world. But who are all those immigrants? For example, there's this young man from Guinea who tried to come to Ukraine a few weeks ago, but they were rejected. So they jumped over the shipboard and swam hundreds of meters to the Ukrainian shore. But eventually they got caught and deported. And now think, What evil they were running from, that they spent all their money for this trip, they left their families behind, and they risked their lives by jumping into the sea just in order to get this tiny chance for a better life. But what if people know how to immigrate properly or could afford a good immigration lawyer? Will the situation change? Of course it will. And we believe that we can make this happen by creating a universal lawyer who doesn't get tired, who doesn't go home, who can advise hundreds of people simultaneously and free of charge. This is Ivan, an immigration chatbot. You simply open your favorite messenger, type your question, and you get an instant advice. And we also believe that access to justice must be free of charge, so everyone could use it. So is Ivan, because immigrants never pay Ivan. Vendors pay Ivan. Vendors like law firms, insurance companies, translation bureaus, etc. And this is what differs us from our competitors, who charge money for their legal advice. Ivan never does so, and that's why with Ivan, your immigration is always cheaper, faster, and is more secured. Last May, we graduated from an incubation program and won the demo day. In June, we launched, and in September, Ivan has already helped more than 500 people, which is more than 100 people per month. This October, we already have 2 law firms, 1 insurance company, and 1 real estate agency on board, and we are going to charge money from them by the end of this year. In 2 years, we will be operating in 4 different countries with the total number of immigrants being equal to 30 million people. And we believe that 3 million of them will be using Ivan. By the way, these are the 4 top immigration destination countries for people from Ukraine and Africa. You already know about me, but our co-founder is a really great match for our startup because he is a 2 times immigrant from Palestine and has over 25 years of IT experience. By the way, Ivan is also our 3rd startup for both of us. We also believe that law is not a secret. It's a public domain and it must be free of charge. And this is why we are here. And you can help us to make this happen. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hey, Sergey. Nice pitch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shall I just start?
Yes, please go ahead, Ronald.
Absolutely great topic, and also an amazing challenge to solve. I want to dive into, let's say, the business model a little bit and ask you how your conversations, your initial conversations with your, let's say, the paying clients, how they work, the insurance companies, the law firms, the real estate agencies, and what problem are you solving for them, and how are you getting them to pay?
Yeah, it's a good question, the core question, right? So for vendors, we provide clients basically, because immigration is not always is not only about legal services and legal advice. When you relocate to another country, you anyway need to buy an insurance. You need to translate your documents. You need to take your kids to some school, right? So there are many things you need to solve, and this is where Ivan could help those vendors to attract new users. And for example, about legal companies, Ivan provides legal free advice. You can use it and you can try to do everything by yourself, or still you can hire an immigration lawyer at the end, and Ivan can provide you with a trusted one, because there are many scams in the immigration field, and not only in Ukraine. In Canada, there was a recent very huge scam in this area. So law firms are interested in getting new clients, and immigrants could be interested in getting help of a real human lawyer in the end. Insurance companies, for example, right now in Ukraine, especially during the COVID time, now almost every foreigner who comes to Ukraine is obliged to buy COVID insurance. So that's a huge opportunity for insurance companies when we provide them with people who need to buy those insurance, and they will be able to buy insurance within Ivan.
And you need your first vendors to prove the case, I understand. So you say that's your 3rd startup, right? So
yeah.
What is the key lesson that you take from your previous startups into this one?
Well, I would say first, you need to have a really good and trusted co-founder, and you need to be on the same line with him. And the second thing is probably that you need to really work hard on marketing, on PR, because I'm a lawyer. I know how to do this stuff, but I'm not very good in selling products. So this is my, I think, weak point, and this is what I'm trying to improve.
And organize that within the team, most likely. Hey, maybe on the tech, I mean, your partner is a technologist, but maybe you can share a little bit on the technology side of things. I mean, chatbots are currently quite a lot under development.
Yeah, we are doing it right now. We are developing it right now on Google Dialogflow. First, we did it on another platform. It was a good choice at that time because it was cheap and it allowed us to test the hypothesis to see whether people need it or not for a very short and cheap way. Right now, it's not quite a good match for us because we need to add more and more features. So we need a more sophisticated tool, and after a lot of thinking, we decided that the Google Dialogflow is a much better choice for us.
Yeah, and with chatbots, sometimes the conversion point is the most interesting one, from providing information to really solving a problem for a user. So can you share a little bit about how you designed that user experience?
Well, right now, if I understood your question correctly, whether we understand that the user actually used that information and did something with his, used it for his immigration, right? Right now, I don't have the statistics because every user actually all the time, every user uses Ivan. I reach out to this user and ask him to provide his feedback, negative, positive, and even negative more, because I'm more interested in negative feedback. And unfortunately, no one provides negative feedback. People usually provide either a positive feedback or they don't answer to my request anyway at all. So right now I don't have the statistics, but when we start charging money, when we start, for example, charging money for selling insurance, for example, this way we will see how many people bought insurance through Ivan, or how many people bought legal services through Ivan.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry. Detailed questions, Dmitry. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's understandable, of course. Such an interesting product and a huge problem. Okay, thanks a lot, Sergey. Thanks a lot, Ronald.
Thank you.
Wishing you all the best. And we are now switching to the next part of our event, which is a panel discussion on innovation and justice in the COVID times. We will discuss it from different perspectives. We'll have 3 participants. First, I would like to introduce Isabella Banks, a justice sector advisor at HiiL. Hi, Isabella.
Hello.
And the second speaker would be Mstislav Banik. He's advisor to Ministry of Digital Transformation, a project manager at DIA, and he is also a director at the Directorate on Electronic Services Department at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. Hello, Mstislav.
Hello. Can you hear me? It's okay?
Yeah, everything is good. Good to have you here with us. And last but not least, I invite Romanov, the Director of Human Rights and Justice Program at the International Renaissance Foundation. Okay, and we have Roman. Hello, everybody, and let's start the discussion with from the very beginning, basically. And I would like to ask Isabella to tell a little bit more about the research that you have done, you and colleagues and our colleagues from The Hague done around justice in the COVID times. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, no problem. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Isabella Banks, and I'm a justice sector advisor at HiiL. So as part of the HiiL research team, my work is focused on monitoring the state of justice and innovation from a people-centered perspective. And today I'll share a bit about what that has looked like during these unprecedented times of COVID-19. So in June of last year, or of this year, excuse me, HiiL surveyed 271 thought leaders in the justice sector about what it would mean to deliver justice during the COVID-19 crisis. And our goal is to collect real-time data about justice needs and innovative responses to the pandemic. 68% of the experts that we surveyed have more than 10 years of professional experience. They include lawyers, judges, prosecutors, NGO staff, academics, and justice innovators. And altogether, they come from 20 different countries. So the online report that we produced is made up of interactive charts that allow you to explore the views of thought leaders in your country. They feature data, the charts feature data about justice institutions' immediate responses to the crisis, expected justice problems for individuals and SMEs, their impact, and views on the remedies needed. So today I'll be focusing on justice interventions, innovations, and policy responses that the respondents thought would be most promising, as well as highlighting a few results from Ukraine. And I'll try to share my screen so you can see what the online report looks like, but just to give you an impression, but I encourage you to check it out later and explore the data yourselves. Just one moment.
Yeah, very interesting. And I also look forward to discussion. I'm also curious to know a little bit more about Mstislav's view on this and services that they are doing in the ministry to resolve these kind of issues. Okay, we have the report.
Yes, so what we found is that justice leaders considered preventative and informal interventions such as legal information and advice, assisted negotiation and mediation as the most important for preventing and resolving the current wave of justice problems. More formal interventions that are typically offered by the courts, such as handing down decisions and sanctions, were expected to be slightly less effective under the circumstances. Although I wanted to note that our results from Ukraine indicate that thought leaders there were a bit more confident on average about the effectiveness of education and sanctioning to resolve justice problems. 2/3 of the experts we surveyed from Ukraine also placed a high value on monitoring outcomes, which suggests to us that safeguarding the quality and sustainability of justice interventions was an important priority with so much uncertainty and change. And when asked about service delivery models, thought leaders anticipated that while fast court proceedings and traditional legal services would continue to be important, community justice and other innovations such as legal apps, online one-stop shops, and online contracting platforms would be in particularly high demand. And there was a notable lack of support across the board for zero tolerance policies such as prisons to respond to the crisis. And when asked about the kind of system change that would be needed, thought leaders indicated that protecting the justice workforce, increasing innovation and smart working, and enforcing emergency measures fairly were top priorities. And in Ukraine specifically, increasing innovation and smart working was far and away the top priority, with support from 75% of respondents. Ukrainian respondents also indicated that the justice sector should improve its coordination mechanisms, court procedures, and technologies. One expert in particular called for innovative justice delivery through out-of-the-box thinking. Another called the crisis an opportunity to finally move legal practice into the digital age. And in order to enable justice sector adaptation and innovation during the crisis, experts from around the world called for flexible regulation and procedures and regulation of procedures and sustainable financial models. So just to conclude, our results indicate that so far satisfaction with the justice sector's response to the crisis is quite low. And to us, this signals a big opportunity for innovators like those participating in this challenge to fill the current gap in people-centered justice delivery. And our findings suggest that a richer and more accessible portfolio of interventions delivered online or in communities is urgently needed. Thank you.
Nice, Isabella. Thanks a lot. And I would say that not only the innovators can solve these problems, but institutions and ministries too. So, Mstislav, would you like to share your perspective on it? I know that you've been working on digital products that also include products to prevent COVID which is the special app, right? Dia Home. Maybe you also have some reflections on what Isabella just said.
Yes, I would like to tell him, I think in two boxes. The first thing is how did we work during the first wave of the corona crisis in our ministry. And the second, it's about Dia at home, yes. So for the first, I don't think that our ministry felt bad the corona crisis and the self-isolation, because really, of course, everyone knows that some bureaucracy and all ministers work with papers, offline meetings, and so on. But in the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, we already worked with a lot of Zoom meetings and a lot of online activities. And then when we started working at home, it just was relocating of our teams, really. Why I want to say about, because I heard really a lot of about a lot of situations where the productivity became lower during the corona crisis and working at home. But really, if the team is driven with the products they work on, and when the team is young and they already use messengers, use a lot of emails, and use Zoom meetings, it's not hard. I think the only hard thing what was then, it's that personally me, I didn't have any free time, I think. So when you work at the office, you have some morning time to wake up and go to the office. When you work at the office, you have some free time after it and some time to go to the gym, I think, or maybe to cafe. But when you're on self-isolation and you work at home, you just wake up, sit down, and already working. And I felt that in 2 weeks, I was setting some Zoom conferences on 9 p.m. and even 10 p.m. And I thought about it, and I understood that it was not right for us. So it's just think about working, and I think it's a nice experience for everyone who touch it with self-isolation and work at home, because it's make us and all the people in Ukraine, I think, especially to work in another format. And even my mom was working from home as he is working at the university. So, and the second thing about the application for monitoring of self-isolation, it was some kind of experiment and fastest product that I've met, because as we know, in the spring, the growing of coronavirus pandemic was very fast, but just now in the autumn we know that it's faster than it was, and we have just 2 or 3 weeks to provide and to produce some product that will help our Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Internal Affairs and Ministry of Health, of course, to save the people and to start the monitoring, because different international experience showed that it's really impossible to use the national police to track any person that should be at home. And we analyzed the experience of Poland, I think, experience of China, and I don't remember the third, maybe Austria, the third country, and we made just as easy product as it could be. So person that should be on self-isolation just get the SMS on his or her mobile phone with the link to download in the application. After installing the application, you just use your phone number to with code to log in, and then there is just a countdown with days of self-isolations, and 5 times a day in a random time periods, a person gets the notification and application asks to make a photo. And we applied some face recognition technology that person has to make some movement on his face. We to know this is not just a photo of this person. And in the moment, it's a very very important thing. In the moment of taking the photo, we take the location of this person. So as we know, the home address where self-isolation is going, we compare it to address of location in the moment of photo, and if it's the same, it's okay, and their confirmation of self-isolation is done. But if the address is wrong and the person wanted to work or go to France, I think, or go to the market.
And Mstislav, sorry for interrupting you. Just a quick question. And how does it work? How do you assess the effectiveness of this app?
About 95% of users that was on self-isolations made successful, made every notification successful. So during 2 weeks, on 14 days, 5 times a day, they confirm their location place. So, and 95% was successful. So this is not pleasant way for Ukrainians. I think no one wants to be controlled as he's been at home. And of course, in markets, we had 1.5 our stars. But anyway, it helped that time.
I see. And that's quite a remarkable thing, I would say. I didn't hear about such apps in other countries. Probably you researched, you said there are some, but I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of innovators in Ministry of Digital Transformation, and maybe some countries in EU would like to even apply this app in their countries. And I think it would be easier with the digital integration of EU of Ukraine into the EU. And here I would like to give a word to Roman to say a little bit more about the program that they're about to launch. That is actually already going, about digital integration into EU. So Roman, can you tell a few words about how does it work? By the way, your camera is off. Okay. Yes.
Right, now it's on.
Thanks.
Right, Dmytro, as I said before, we signed agreement with the EU delegation to collaborate more in supporting different civil society activities within the next 3.5 years in Ukraine. So what significantly extended our resources to work on different aspects of civil society development. One of the new area, which supposed to be actually the sustainable issue for the whole network of open society foundations, which IRF belongs to, would be digital rights. And here in Ukraine, we prioritized a lot our integration through European digital market, because actually the EU is a very important standard-setting organization for digital rights. And we believe that actually now this is the very important moment then our society is in the crossroad, what sort of technology would allow to be a part of our life, how the corporations and the states would become accountable for the data they collect, and actually how they use, store, process the personal data issues. Unfortunately, actually, our legislation is still far from being perfect, and we are very slow in implementing the best European standards, even from the Council of Europe, not talking about the GDPR, which is the main set of European standards for digital rights protection. So I would like to highlight that if we support digital innovations, justice innovations, we always try to look at this perspective of how the rights-based approach is implemented wherever this idea has a human-centered philosophy inside or not. And even different administrative measures, which are important, of course, to be implemented on different aspects of our life. But actually, what are their limitations? And whether the rights are taken into account and respected. People, quite reluctant to install sometimes some applications or provide data because of just, they are not confident enough how their personal information will be used in the future, especially bearing in mind that we are living in the time then the personal information becomes the real currency of 21st century, and lots of real stakeholders are hunting for personal data. So wherever we are going to join the community of countries which respects human dignity and human rights or not. And this is not the abstract question. That's the question which we want to ask for each developer, for each person who is behind any products available in the market. So I announced early in my speech that next week probably you can check the website of the International Renaissance Foundation and you could find a new opportunity to get support for justice innovations and digital rights protection measures. You already can find the information that we are looking for, additional ideas how to enhance the collaboration with the EU and real integration into European digital market from the policy perspective. So now we will add the ethical element to support development, to support creative thinking, to support resources, actually to influence this society, and of course the minds of innovators to take into account how important human rights are in all of your products you are developing, thinking about, and promoting.
Wow, sounds so exciting to me. Thanks, Roman. And I think this panel was remarkable for at least for the reason that we have different stakeholders. So there is a stakeholder who does the research, both locally and internationally. We have a public institution, a ministry who develops different innovative products who are then used by people, and we also have a representative of international organization, donor organization, who is also supporting this thing. And we also have a lot of innovators here, including these pitches. So to me, it is very exciting. I'm really grateful to all of you, Roman, Mstislav, and Isabella, for participating. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your time. And please follow the event and pitches of our amazing innovators. So we are now moving to the second section of innovators pitches. Here, I would like to invite my colleague Iran Hufels. She is a program manager at HiiL. She'll be helping me out with asking questions and trying to get more information and to know better our startups. Then I would like to invite Regina from PravoMan, then Andrei from Consultant, and Yuri from UrbanData.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? And
Very exciting.
we're missing Andriy, but I hope he'll join us. Okay, great to see you, everybody. Let's start with PravoMan and the pre-recorded pitch that Regina prepared for us. Okay, we're doing technical preparations, and the pitch will begin now.
Hi, my name is Banik and I am CEO of PravoMan. PravoMan is the first totally digital lawyer who can help you with the first legal advice. Imagine, in Ukraine live 21 million citizens who every day make the great things, but also they don't have access to justice. We have very complicated law process. That's why we need a helper to protect ourselves. But the price of such consultation is high, and also we have deficit of free of charge legal advice. But we find the solution. We create totally digital advisor PravoMan. PravoMan is AI system which live in chatbot, app, and website. He collect information and give you easy and fast legal advice, document, and information. PravoMan have already prepared for you more than 100 consultation, 40 legal documents, and he already helped 20,000 people in Ukraine. Why they choose us? Because it's very simple and fast. You need only 3 minutes to get your advice, 5 minutes for documents. You don't need to wait or driving somewhere, and also we're free from COVID. We are a young startup, but I think we have a good traction. For example, we launched our product on 6 platforms. It's chatbots, also apps and website. We attracted partners like Ministry of Justice and other NGOs in Ukraine. In the beginning of this year, we got grant from Ukrainian Startup Fund. Also, we start selling. So let's talk about our business model. It has 2 parts, B2C and B2B. B2C model included subscription and chargeable documents. B2C model for legal professional and also digital services included advertisement and leads. As I say, we start selling, and I must say that 47% of our users paying us for our services. Let's talk about our team. It's a proven team because we have many success stories together. For example, we create Ivan Musk bot for Ministry of Health and UNICEF, which now have 1 million users. Also, we create Railway bot, who now have $600,000 in the year, and Superbot, who covered 76 countries. In this project, we have a huge goal: help countries become rule of law. But by 2025, we decided that we must help 10 million citizens and 1 million small businesses in Ukraine. And after that, start our scaling. We scaled with franchise to East Europe and CIS countries. We believe that PravoMan is the most accessible, universal, user-friendly instrument for getting first legal advice. We want to show to the world that law can be simple if you have a good advisor. Thank you for your attention.
Wow, that was impressive. Hello, Irina, Regina, sorry. How are you doing?
I'm very excited to your questions because I think it must be interesting.
Okay, let's jump in. Iran.
Sure.
Please comment or ask whatever.
Yeah. Thanks, Regina, for that. I think some of my questions are around getting some clarification around what the problem and solution is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with that. So if I understood correctly, the problem was that access to justice is not affordable. Whereas I heard that the solution is more about it being easy to use. So I want to get clarification in terms of how the problem is being addressed by your solution.
Okay. The problem is that in Ukraine we have a deficit of free legal advices. That's why people in Ukraine don't use the law, as they don't know how to use it. So we decided that we create solutions, a helper who will be help you with the law for understanding and using. We get the advices to the people, and they have to not only information but also instrument to protect themselves. For example, it's advice for communication with authority, or maybe about their rights and rule in this situation. Also, we give the documents which must help with the communication or maybe for protect themselves. Also, we get information about digital services in Ukraine. For example, we have a lot of services in Ukraine which must help you to protect yourself and also understanding what happened with your rights. For example, it's maybe in some government open data register or some instrument from funding in Ukraine and so on.
Okay.
So
yeah, so then for me to clarify, how does this become affordable?
Sorry, again, because
how is your solution affordable? How is it cheaper? Is it free?
Okay.
What is it?
Yes, the biggest part of our function is the free for users, because I think that advice must be free, but for document, we have chargeable documents, for example, like some agreement and so on. That's why this is very cheaper, $1 for one document. And also we have a subscription, $9 for subscription in the month, but it's in 10 times cheaper than you go to a lawyer. And also we covered all target group, because, for example, authority have some special areas and they don't have opportunity to help everyone, but PravoMan gives for everyone advice. That's why the covering is huge. It's all Ukrainians, and it's the most important thing why we start this project.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Regina. Sorry, Ron, but we have to move on to the next one. I know that's interesting. I would love us to continue the conversation for at least 10 minutes more. But yeah, thanks a lot, Regina. Good luck to you. And we move. Thanks. And we move on to Consultant. It is an online marketplace for legal and accounting advice.
Hi, everyone. Once life of every person will be a situation when you don't know what to do. Accident, credit, taxes, problems with the police, and this list is endless. I'm sure that even in this audience, everyone has a legal problem. How to patent the idea, how to distribute shares in the project, and how to invest safely. There are many problems, but we have the solution. And this is Consultant, lawyer and accountant online. Now everyone can press one button in the smartphone and get advice from all the attorneys, auditors, notaries, and other licensed professionals in Ukraine. Even more, choose the best specialist in the right place at the right time, and most importantly, at the best price. How do we do that? Consultant is the first national product that is integrated with the open database of licensed specialists. So we do not need to look for the consultants, unlike our competitors. Additionally, we have specific advantages over our competitors. There are automatic quality system, feedback system, push activity system, a referral system, and automatic payment system. The mobile application during 3 test months was downloaded by 2,300 users who made more than 900 payments, from which we got a profit $600. Consultant is a marketplace that maintains a commission from a consultation and sells the contact of specialists and the contact of potential client to specialists. Our business model and the business strategy makes it possible to say that by the end of next year, if we get $100,000, we will generate about $250,000 of profit. And in 2025, our profit will be at least 42 million. Our team. I am Andrei Prihodko, CEO and founder, and Dmitry Luzanov, head of IT department. So come on in, download it, be legally protected.
Okay, and now, Andrei, How are you doing? I'll be helping a little bit in translation if needed.
Да,
So, Iran, please.
Sure. Hi, Andrei. Thanks for that. My question is more around how you make money. So I understand that there has been 918 payments. I understand that you have made $600 American.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Is it that people subscribe and then they get access to all of this vast information you have in the database? Or is it that per connection that is made, you get something? Can you elaborate on that, please?
Дима, переведи, пожалуйста, в конце. Я сначала понял, в конце не очень.
Так. Яким чином ви заробляєте? Чи ви, просто загалом питання, яким чином ви заробляєте, із кого ви берете гроші і скільки?
We monetization for two steps. For one step, we get commission from consultation. For example, people pay 200 hryvnias, we take 30%. 70% we send to the lawyer or another specialist. And people can get consultation from any consultants. So you have one question and get 3 or 5 or 10 answer from another lawyers and attorneys in Ukraine. After that, you choose the best questions or computer and automatically for 7 days after consultation, and after that money is делятся, как это?
Splitted, money is splitted, right?
Yeah, and the second time when people can order maybe documents or another decision, they can choose from any attorneys or lawyers who get consultation before and open contact. And when click open contact, we monetized both hands. People pay 100 hryvnias and lawyers pay 70 hryvnias. And after that, we open contact and people and lawyer can communicate it for line with. Правильно объяснил?
Yeah, that's correct. Great.
Okay. Yeah. Do I have time to ask?
Yeah, let's do one short one.
Okay. So I understand that the money can come from the lawyer and it can come from the person who needs the help of the lawyer.
Yeah.
Which one has so far given you the largest revenue or has made the most number of payments?
Звідки найбільша частина доходів іде від юристів або людей?
Більша частина грошей йде від людей, бо вони платять двічі. Перший раз за консультацію, другий раз за контакти. А юрист платить...
So the biggest part comes from people because they pay 2 times. First, they pay for consultation, and the second part they pay if they want to open the contact, have direct link with the lawyer.
А юрист платит $3 за лид, за потенциального клиента.
And lawyer only pays $3 for a potential lead that he can then charge for. So that's it. Thanks a lot, Andrei. I think there was a good pitch and a good Q&A. Let's now move to our third pitch for now, which is UrbanData. And I invite Yuri to pitch.
Hello, my name is Yuri Brikaila, and I represent UrbanData. To start, let me tell you one typical story that happens every day in many countries. You got married recently, already planning to have kids, and have managed to invest your savings into a new flat where you have already decorated the kids' room in your mind and have planned your housewarming party in detail. 7 years have passed. Your child now is in a primary school, but you still don't have a flat. No one has returned the invested money, and you got stuck with a mortgage to pay out for many years to come. Actually, you are not alone. There are about 300,000 families like this in Ukraine, and in the next year, this number may reach 500,000. But we in UrbanData know how not to fall into construction development trap and not to lose your money. UrbanData gives everyone a chance to check the lawfulness of any construction development in real time and it will allow in near future to assess the risk levels of any development object. Discovery of illegal objects and assessment of risk levels will decrease significantly the number of deceived real estate buyers and provide potential buyers all the necessary information about development. And the option to submit complaints about illegal developments in just one click will decrease the number of such illegal and problematic objects, as it will make the developers to follow the law. And our new service of reverse geocoding will allow to point a mobile phone at any object and to see on a screen all about it. In first 6 months, we already have 30,000 users, and we have 30 paying subscribers, despite the fact that we started sales only 3 months ago. Besides, recently, we have become one of the winners of OpenData Challenge 2020. The issue with illegal development objects and cheated real estate buyers does exist not only in Ukraine, but also in the other countries of CIS, as well as in other development countries. Practically everything that I just covered has a social impact. We ensure that those people who earn their money hard and who wants to buy real estate do not lose the investment and do get their flat. Also, our service enables simple tools to track illegal construction and fight against those who are building illegally. We plan to help up to 150,000 families every year. In terms of our competitors, we get significant advantages. Our service is free, fully automated, and it covers all development objects throughout the Ukraine. Until the end of this year, we are going to launch our service of reverse geocoding, and next year we are going to launch our mobile app. This is our professional team that in the start of this year, from scratch, have launched the Telegram bot and web portal, and we keep improving the services every day. Thank you very much.
Hello. Yeah,
Hi.
thanks a lot for a pitch, Yura. Okay, now we move to Q&A. Iran?
Yeah. So a very interesting idea, and I want to get an understanding of how it works. So you check for the lawfulness. How?
Okay, we have two systems or two parts. One, I can call it legal, illegal, completely. And the second, which we are now working on it, this is the risk levels. The first part means that if we couldn't find any permission documents, any documents for construction, for land plot, it means exactly that this is illegal. And we are using open data for it. So we can divide into legal, then to check the risk levels, and illegal. And we can mark them on our map. We have an interactive map. And we can mark them with the cross, red cross, that's all. And if you would like to invest and you see that this is illegal, I think that you don't do it. But if you do, sorry, we can't help. And the other object, which is illegal, basically legal, we have a lot of documents, but we are looking into these documents. Designated purpose of land plot, type of object. It may be signed like this is a school, but the company tried to sell you an apartment. It's impossible. So there is a documents, but they have a lot of violations. And this system of violations is a table and a lot of points. This is everything is open data, and we are crossing them. And if there are a lot of violations, we, for example, mark 1 from 10, 5 from 10, and you could make your decision or ask the lawyer to explain why maybe here is only 2 violations. May I invest or not?
Okay.
Another short one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just from what I understand, there is going to be an app next year with geocoding in it. So is it that now, for example, if I want to buy a land, I give you the address for it, then you look at open data. Is it manual? Is it being done automatically based on the program that you've written, or?
On our portal, we have a first part of this geocoding until the end of this year. You, without any app, you can use it on mobile even, or on your laptop and see everything. So you can we have a full text search. So you can write down an address, for example, the name, the cadastral number of land plot, everything you know. Or you can open a map and put the mark. And we have a system that gets your coordinates and say, oh, here is the construction of, for example, apartment, school, or petrol station, for example. So mobile app, this is additional, more easy, but next year. All the services now we have on our portal, and also we have a Telegram bot.
Okay, so I understand. So it's already been automated.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Yuri. And we're now finished with our second session of pitches and Q&A. Thanks a lot, Iran. It was an interesting session. Okay, so we now can move to the second panel of our event, which is called Legal Problems of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises. We will now talk about the research that have been done in Ukraine, and I'm happy to introduce you to two speakers that we will have on the panel. One is Dr. Martin Gramatikov. He's a director measuring justice at HiiL. Hello, Martin.
Hi, Dima. Hey, all.
And the second speaker is Ivan Pyatak. He's a legal advisor of the project Honestly Filter the Court at CEDEM.
Hello, Dmitry, Martin. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Ivan. Yeah, great to see you. Martin, maybe you can start and share how this project started, and maybe then you can share some insights, and then we switch to Ivan.
Yeah,
tell
absolutely.
a little bit in general, so people would understand what kind of project we will present soon, right? It is a sneak preview, once a third sneak preview per our event. So tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thanks, Dima, and good afternoon, all. It's indeed a sneak preview. We are going to present the actual report next week, 22nd of October. And this project is a project to understand the justice problems of micro, small, and medium enterprises in Ukraine. The partners are CEDEM. Ivan is representing this great organization, and also the project Pravo Justice in Ukraine. What we did was to study about 815 micro, small, medium enterprises, and to ask them what sort of legal problems do you encounter and what do you do about these problems. As you can imagine, the corona crisis, the pandemic did not help a lot. We did not, for instance, manage to talk to a lot of micro enterprises like small shops, bakeries, taxi drivers, and these really small entrepreneurs. We didn't get to talk to people like this, but we got a good sample and we got an understanding. And this understanding, I think, is sending one sober message. SMEs in Ukraine have justice issues and they need to resolve them. Not all of them, actually very few, have in-house lawyers. Relatively few have access to lawyers. So SMEs need to find the way towards solving their legal problems. On the other hand, I think the study shows nicely the demand for justice. And if we think about innovators, the study nicely outlines the market niche. For instance, we found that about 16% of the SMEs said that they had to deal with at least one serious problem in the last 2 years. I believe that probably there are much more. Simply, it was a difficult time, and talking on the phone about legal problems is probably decreasing the willingness of people to talk about problems. Another interesting finding is that the average cost of a legal problem for an SME is 1.8 million hryvnias. And this is a huge amount of money. And I think this is clearly showing the pain point, a pain point on which innovators can focus. What do SMEs do to resolve their problems? First, they negotiate with the other party. And the other party is usually another SME or a client or a public authority. The most frequent type of problems are trade disputes, disputes with vendors, suppliers, clients. But also we see that fraud is a serious problem, disputes around premises, employment issues, all these things that you can imagine. The second strategy of SMEs is to consult a lawyer. About 1 out of 5 is consulting a lawyer. Some, not a very big proportion, are filing lawsuits, looking for support from administrative agencies, and about 8% are doing nothing. And I think, again, this is showing a great market niche, great opportunity for innovators to support. If I'm thinking about negotiation, actually not a lot of great innovations are coming to mind, not only from Ukraine, but also from other places in the world. Another dimension of the needs for justice and legal services is that a lot of the legal problems remained unresolved. Many problems are pending, meaning that people or SMEs here encounter the problem, try to solve it, but it is still pending. The problem has not been resolved. And other problems are just left, people abandon the hope to resolve the issue. So something like 1/4 of the people who said that they managed to find some sort of solution to their problem also say that they actually didn't satisfactorily resolve the issue. And also we see that when we ask people about how fair the procedure was, how fair the outcome was distributed, the scores are usually below the medium point, which means that people need better justice services. SMEs need better justice services, which I think is a great message to the innovators community. And my last point, Dima, is another very interesting thing. Very few of the SMEs, actually really a handful, say that they used online bots or other digital methods to resolve their disputes. But when we ask them, where did you look for information to solve your problem? 65% say internet. And on the internet, you think about Google, you think about social media, specific Ukrainian resources, etc., etc. So this means SMEs are digitally ready, and I think they kind of latently are expecting services from innovators, people like you. So this is a very short preview of the study with some really cool news for the innovators.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks a lot for this preview. I totally support this view that SMEs are ready, and probably we need a little bit more promotion from the side of innovators. And I think there will be a match, as they say in the startup world, products market fit. We hope for that. And Ivan, can you share a little bit more of your insights from the study? How did you work on it? Maybe something really jumped into your eye. I know Martin already said quite a lot, but I'm pretty sure you have a lot of things to add. And you're muted, by the way, so you can unmute and we can start the conversation.
I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about our research of justice needs of SMEs. I think our team from experts from HiiL, Pravo Justice, CEDEM, and we have another partner, it's data collection company, InfoSapiens. we have made an excellent work. So as a result, we have a big report with different data about disputes, about justice problems, and also we have a big documents such as recommendation based on results of this report. And this recommendation is about how we can resolve these problems which we see in report and data. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you about all the data in this report because we have a presentation on 22nd of October, but I guess I could inform you about some key points, just a small teaser of our presentation. As Martin said, the most common problem of SMEs is disputes with customers, with clients, with business partners, etc. But it's more important that the businessmen do not consider these problems as the most significant. The businessman assess that the most serious justice problems are in tax sphere, in real estate sphere, and criminal law problems, or like Ukrainian said, raiding or fraud in the companies. Such assessments is very logical because business can lose their investment or get big financial losses when they have these problems. Also, we indicated a huge problem with the implementation of any decision in Ukraine and the impossibility in most cases to restore the rights of injured party. For my opinion, it's the main problems in Ukraine and the main and serious problems in Ukraine for SMEs. So we prepared the recommendation how to resolve in these problems in this sphere. Recommendation for resolving problems, for resolving enforcement issues were prepared by PravoJustice and the Association of Private Enforcement Office in Ukraine. To prepare recommendations in the tax sphere, in the real estate sphere, and about raiding, CEDEM engage experts from well-known Ukrainian law firms such as Artsinger and Seyenko-Kharenko. I hope this data from the report and recommendation will be the basis to the reform in Ukraine, which aim to help business in Ukraine. And also it's a good basis for innovators, so they can then make some decision of these problems, digital decision of how to resolve these problems. And I invite you for our presentation on October 22nd. It will be interesting.
Thanks a lot, Ivan. Yeah, Martin, maybe you want to comment? Or okay, you're unmuted. You're muted, by the way. Okay. So
I my comment is I agree it will be interesting presentation. Also, we have questions about the perceived legal problems of SMEs during the COVID time. And I think it's an interesting intersection. My colleague Isabella was talking about how experts are considering what will be the implications of the pandemic for people. But SMEs are basically people. It's if we follow this distinction between people's law and companies law, SMEs are closer to the people's law, that they rarely have big resources, rarely are on the side of having a lot of access to legal services. So we have also this section in which SMEs are thinking about what will be the implications of COVID. Back when we were gathering the data, they were quite optimistic. I don't know how it will be now, but yeah, interesting data. And I think it will be great if the Ministry of Digital Transformation or some other actor in Ukraine continues with some sort of a longitudinal studies like that to kind of measure the pulse of justice needs of SMEs.
Yeah, good point. We should have had a representative from the Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation, a Deputy Minister, but unfortunately, due to schedule changes, she couldn't join. But I'm pretty sure we will collaborate on this. So to sum up, HiiL, CEDEM, Pravo Justice have done an amazing job and produced a research and a report. So we will have an interactive web report where you can click and check the data from HiiL, but then also you're going to have policy recommendations that are actionable items for policymakers and for ministries that is done by the CEDEM and partners on the other side. So, and both of these things, they will be presented on 22nd, so in few days, basically in a week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great support. It will bolster innovations, both in private and public sector. So for now, thanks a lot, Ivan, Martin. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, and now we move to the final third section of our pitches. And I invite 3 teams to pitch, and my colleague Devon Skaulelis, Hub and Franchise Manager at HiiL. Hi, Devon.
Hi, Dmitry. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And I also invite Natalia from Agreed. I invite Oleg from Tabula, and I invite Maxine from Alimony.Online. Hi, everybody. Okay, great to see you here. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's great.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
Okay. Oleg, I think you have some troubleshooting with sound. Okay, the sound is really bad. Like, I'm sorry, we can't hear you. We just can't. So maybe you can change some settings. It really doesn't work. The sound is very bad. Okay, but we will now start with Agreed. We will listen to the pitch, and afterwards we will have a short Q&A session led by Devon. And in a second, we'll see the pitch from Agreed. Here we go.
Hi. Since I was a child, I believed that words can do anything. They can build friendship, defend someone, they can lead thousands. But sometimes words are getting people into trouble. I saw the story about a woman, Anne Smith. She was jailed for failing her job duty. She didn't complete a full transcript of a court hearing in given terms, and she was one of the thousands stenographers jailed for that reason. Such misconducts not only cause delays in thousands of hearings, but leads to justice miscarriages. What can it actually cause? Let's see. Around 200,000 of Americans wrongly convicted for crimes they never committed. I think it's huge. So the problem is, since the beginning of justice till hybrid court hearing in Zoom, nothing changed in tools lawyers use. The question here is, are we using all available technologies to solve the problem and make justice efficient? We want to solve it with Agreed, an AI-powered video conference platform transforming online speech into documents. It is perfectly suited for meetings with legal purposes, and with Agreed, you can manage it in one place. With Agreed, you can create a meeting to raise important questions on a given date and time, jump on a call, and focus on what is said on the meeting. The whole conversation will be transcribed and summarized. Documents of your standard form will be ready immediately after the meeting, and you don't need to record manually nothing or involve third parties. And it is best time for us to start. So we launched in June and will deploy our AI assistant in December. Since June, we tested the platform with 11 organizations and around 9,000 participants. 23 companies are already willing to use the product. Since the start, we have been studying and validating idea. We will use a classic subscription model for our product that will vary on the number of participants, meeting health, so on. We're starting here in Ukraine, but as the product is easy scalable, we want to expand it on a global market when relevant. We do have competitors on markets, but they are starting as we do. What differentiates us is having industry to target. We have a team of founders with a combination of legal and tech expertise equipped to build the product. And now we are looking for angel investment to help us make it faster. My name is Natalie. I'm a CEO of Agreed. Thank you.
All right, great. And now we invite Natalie to answer a few questions from Devon. Okay, Devon, go for it.
Thank you for that. That was great. Very interesting product and organization. And you mentioned that you just started in June, so obviously very new. If you, with regards to your projections, what would you need in order, how many users would you need in order to break even?
Okay, thank you for a question. It's this number that I will tell you would be approximate because we are going to charge money for in two phases. Like starting from November, we're going to charge our clients for the functionality that is already available on our platform, and starting on 1st of January, we will charge our clients for AI assistant. So counting these two features that will be available on our platform for the whole next year, we're planning to break even in the end of 2021 year. 2021.
Excellent. And obviously being a young organization, what would you say you're most proud of at the moment? What accomplishments have you made that you've been the most proud of it up until now?
Okay, so it would be my personal opinion, but a year ago, I didn't know about, let's say I was interested in legal tech, but I didn't know how it worked. And like in 1 year, I managed to find a team to build the product and to launch it on the 1st of June and to validate the idea and let's say to cover the problems that our NGOs and companies were facing this summer, this even starting with the spring where the COVID breakout. So I think that it's great for us to show this kind of progress. And finding my team and building the product in this year, I think it's good progress to show my achievement.
Okay, thank you. And who are your main customers at the moment? Or who do you plan?
Yeah, okay. So here I would also answer with two parts. So for the models that are already available, this product is most suited for big organizations like big corporations, NGOs, political parties where there are a lot of members. And the AI assistance that we are still, the idea that we are still validating is also the best for the big corporate clients, because it's not only solving the problem of like the need to conduct those meetings, but it's cutting their cost much, and that's why it works best for them.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think we're out of time for Agreed. Thanks a lot, Natalie.
Thank you.
Great to hear your pitch. Okay, and we now move to Tabula. I hope that Oleg fixed his problem with the mic. But now let's see the pitch.
Hello, my name is Oleg Aprelenko and I'm presenting Tabula. Justice is one of the greatest values of mankind. But in the past, if justice was commonly passed immediately, mostly based on person's testimonies, Nowadays, justice toolbox is enormous, and trial became a complex and complicated process. Because of that, parties, especially lawyers, are overwhelmed with paperwork. They have to carry lots of materials to court to present a case, spend time finding the right documents to make the point to a judge, and have to keep track of trial days as well as monitor courts well. Besides these organization matters, they must be focused on winning a case and making the right argument for that. It's a stressful thing. Who loses when court spends process time on scheduling? When someone is late and trials overlay? When parties are unprepared or worse, are absent? Obviously, justice. We want parties to be focused on their case, not on organization matters, and we want to connect courts with its trial participants. All case documents and information should be stored in one app and be easily found. Trial dates should be automatically appeared in your calendar. Notification should be always on time, and court information and navigation should be accessible in a few clicks. Tabula is one app to organize trial dates, court information, case notes, and documents. We believe such tools have help all parties of the trial and especially professional lawyers, which provides us with a huge market in Ukraine. Our expansion plan is focused on CIS countries because of similar procedural legislation and user interest. On these markets, our main competitors are Google services like Drive and Calendar, in which in combined use are popular among lawyers. In trial notification area, our competitors are OpenData services and court hearing and registry app. But our main advantage, though, is that Tabula is a single app combining the most needed tools. We have chosen subscription business model, which with a free plan for individual use and affordable professional plans. Later on, we plan to introduce in-app ads of legal events and services. By now, we have more than 2,000 installs, more than 200 active users, and every fifth of them has already paid. All of this was accomplished by a team of a lawyer, iOS developer, and designer. We have a great vision of developing Tabula on different platforms, e-court integration, and expansion to other countries. Digitalize trials today, download us on App Store, and feel free to contact. Thank you.
Thanks for the pitch, Oleg. I appreciate specifically the design. And now we can move to the Q&A. So,
yes, thank you, Oleg. Design was great, well explained. Thank you. You mentioned that you have certain recurring customers. Are those paying customers, or is it still in a trial phase?
Customers and trial, like they switched to.
Okay, Oleg, I think we still can't hear you properly.
There's a bad connection.
Sorry, bad connection. Let's, yeah, it doesn't work for now. Let's, maybe you can try it one more time, and we will come back to you after the Alimony.Online. Please check the check your settings and your mic. We'll come back to you once again. So let's now switch to our third of three pitches. Last but not least, that's Alimony.Online and its CEO, Maxim. Let's listen to the pitch.
My name is Max. I'm a lawyer with 10 years of experience. Together with my wife, we raised two sons. And I know that from the first days of life, the main thing a child needs is parents' love and tender. Nevertheless, with each and every day, the number of any child's material needs grows, right? And it's parents' duty to provide everything that a child needs. But when the parents are divorced and one of them does not fulfill the duty, what then? Every year, 100,000 children in Ukraine find themselves in the situation when they need financial assistance in the form of alimony. For this purpose, we created the service Alimony.Online, which makes it possible to receive completely ready documents for receiving alimony through the court. How does it work? Each parent can fill in a form on the website where they put in their personal data. After the online payment, for the services is completed, documents are automatically generated and sent to the user by email. Then the user prints them out, signs the documents, and sends them to the court by post. And that's it. No need to visit lawyers, no excess payments. It is especially relevant now, as the law which stimulates the debtor to pay alimony was essentially changed in Ukraine. Therefore, the received court decisions will be effectively enforced. In 2019, together with my team, we successfully implemented the service of online divorce documents preparation, which constantly provides us with reliable customers for alimony cases. Therefore, having studied the market and analyzed the main competitors, we started to work. Our advantages are affordability, much cheaper than a lawyer. The website works 24/7. Our market covers the whole Ukraine. Simplicity, support. The client can get advice by phone or in the messages. All of the applications the client receives are already with individually filled in data for their cases, instead of a standard template. Our service completely closes the issue of alimony. The clients receive all of the applications they will need to get the final outcome, the funds for the child. We check each package of documents for errors. So we have a complete product, a team that already has previously implemented legal tech project behind their backs, extensive market, financially reliable customers, and we are ready to learn and develop further. Thanks for your attention.
Okay, that was great. And now, Max, a few questions for you from Devon.
Thank you, Max. It's great. I wanted to know, where are you at the stage of development at the moment? Have you launched your product?
Yes, we already have launched our product and it works for now.
And what type of user base do you have at the moment?
It's about 100 users in months.
100 users per month?
Yes.
And you mentioned there's 100,000 children or cases per year. Is that the maximum that you see in the Ukraine specifically, or do you plan on expanding outside?
Yes, it's only in Ukraine. We have 100,000 cases in a year in our courts.
But you know, of course, this is a regional problem but it's also a worldwide problem that you're solving at the moment. How do you see yourself expanding beyond that 100,000? Because not all of those are going to need exact services. What is your plan to expand beyond that?
You know, we want to make full completely service in Ukraine. And after this, we can grow in another countries, in Poland, for example, or in other countries.
But what percentage of that 100,000 do you see using your service?
The next step I want to grow is 10% of our market in Ukraine. 10%. Now we take just 1%, but we started from 0.1%.
Okay, fantastic. And what does the revenue structure look like for the model? How does your organization make revenue from this?
Customers pays us, and it costs about 17 euros per one customer.
17 euros per customer.
Yeah.
Okay, and have you ever thought of a percentage basis of what you're looking at, or is it a set figure that you will always charge per transaction?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Will it always be a set figure that you will charge, or is there a possibility to move to a percentage basis?
Dmitry, please help me.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Darren, maybe you can rephrase. I think what you wanted to ask is that are you happy with your current business model, or maybe you want to move to subscription or something else?
we have plans in our business model. As I said, we have online service in Divorce.online, and customers of this service always asked me about alimony, and that's why we implemented service Alimony.Online. So now we can such ecosystem, in of this both services.
Okay, and the team, is your team fully involved? Do you spend 100% of your time on this project?
Maybe not 100% because, as I said, I'm a lawyer and I have another job. But for now, it's, I think, almost of my time in this project.
Okay.
And nice.
How do you?
Yeah, go for it. Maybe the last short question, and then we wrap up.
How do you see joining HiiL helping with your plans? What do you see the biggest contributing factor being from joining the HiiL Accelerator program?
The biggest thing I want to have from Accelerator is to grow faster with my projects. And, also we have one problem in, I think, all online services in Ukraine, for example. It's trust to online services from customers. We have a really good service and it closes the issue of our customers fully. But at least we have no fully trust of customers. And it's one of the biggest problems for now.
Okay, thanks a lot, Max. Thanks a lot, Devon. Maybe we'll try once again to talk to Oleg from Tabula. I'll remind you, Tabula is a mobile application case management for monitoring court hearings and keeping notes. So Oleg, let's try one more time.
Do you hear me?
Finally, we can hear you crisply. Sounds good. Okay, so Devon, please.
Thanks, Oleg. Yeah, your presentation was really good. I just wanted to understand, where are you at the journey at the moment? Can you just remind me on, I asked you, your recurring revenue, are those paying customers or are you still on a trial basis?
We have paying customers. Some of them tried for 1 month and switched to the year period. And it's about 44 of them right now, which is actually 20% of active users. That's, we think, pretty good because we had not put nothing into marketing. It's just people who try our app and using it.
Okay. And you've been around for a bit of time now. What do you think your biggest challenges at the moment?
State. Like we want to become an e-court app, and right now the biggest challenge is to get the API and to get the state to do this. And also the communication with the state. We have a lot of things that we want to offer, but it's all dependable on state to organize all the trials and meet lawyers and judges together.
So I think the biggest thing for your journey is how do you plan to overcome that? What is the plan for that?
That's why we applied for HiiL. We actually see a lot of people today from funds, from government, from different organizations. I think that dialogue is the best option here.
Fantastic. That's good to see. And can you tell me a little bit more about your team? Who's involved? How much time do you spend on the project?
Now we are partly involved because I'm a lawyer and my brother, who is iOS developer, he also works partly. But for example, for me, I see it for best right now because actually being in court all the time and understanding the real problem, how it works and what should be improved is good for now. But also we are planning when we'll grow, we'll actually have to do this all time for Tabula.
Excellent. And where are you in your discussions with the state at the moment? Have you begun those?
We want to introduce. We want to speak with state, the judiciary, to have data about the judges who are sick or on vacations, or they are busy in other court hearings, so that other trial participants don't have to come. Like, for example, we had a lot of lawyers who come for 3 hours to the court, and then they find out that judge is sick or he's not, he's on vacation. And that data is really what the government has. It just should be opened.
Okay, so I think that was a good conversation. Glad that we had a chance to talk to you, Oleg. And
thank you too, Devon. Thank you for questions.
Yep. And now with this, I would like to thank Devon and all the teams who pitched. Thanks a lot, Devon. Okay, so wow, this has just happened. We had 9 great pitches. We had 2 incredible panels. So to sum up, we also shared 3 great insights with you. First, in the beginning of the next year, HiiL will launch an Innovating Justice Fund, right? So this is for seed and pre-seed stage startups, and checks are much bigger here. There's the first great news. The second great news that Roman announced was that next week they will launch a special call for applications for innovation in the justice sphere. So this is another great opportunity for innovators. And the third great thing is that in a week time, HiiL together with CEDEM and PravoJustice will launch research on legal and justice problems of small and medium enterprises here in Ukraine. It will be an online report, interactive report, but also policy recommendations that all the stakeholders can act upon. So I would like to thank everybody who joined, who made a comment, who participated, and specifically I would like to thank to our partners who also joined the discussion, International Renaissance Foundation, Ministry of Digital Transformation, and the community of Kyiv legal hackers, who also were active on commenting and giving their suggestions. So stay tuned. Tomorrow we will announce who will be the winner of Innovating Justice Challenge 2020. Thanks a lot.